Yeah, no, that doesn't run. So I went to Lincoln High School. I graduated Oregon State. But I've been a fan since I was born. And then same with me. I could never have gone over. Even if I did, I never would.
Right.
But so I went to Lincoln High School, still living in Portland. Yeah, no, I was glad to find Oregon Sports. Work with Sportscasting Unlimited too. They do football. It's good. You got to find multiple places to. Because usually it's not the only thing I do. I'm a poli-sci major, but usually they have multiple. It's not just one network. What's your name, by the way? You're very, very smart. Yeah, it's wait.
Sorry, yeah.
Dave, we gotta go on. I'm so sorry. Great to meet you, Molly. I'll give you guys another shout-outs in there.
Hey.
Yeah, I just realized it's 6:25. We're going on.
Good evening. Good evening, Robert. Great. How are you? Big one. What do you know? Oh, is that one that you
Get on the hole. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
good.
Yes, I'm there. I'll have to stand up. 2 minutes? Sounds good. There we go. Oh, so it's music and arts.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I think he's like 4 rounds.
We're going to have fun.
Hello and welcome to Oregon Sports Beat. Well, I should say welcome to the Eastside Timbers Complex. You are listening to Oregon Sports Beat. I'm Ben Pahl, alongside of Dave Hall. Tonight we have a girls varsity soccer Mount Hood Conference 6A matchup between the top 2 ranked teams in the Mount Hood Conference. The David Douglas Scots taking on the 3rd ranked Central Catholic Rams, and we're just a few weeks out from postseason play. Great tune-up. We were talking to both coaches about how much this game means for momentum tonight and just getting the feel of the higher competition. This is a game both teams are looking forward to, Dave.
This game has huge implications in the Mount Hood Conference. Central Catholic and David Douglas are on top. They're both 3-0 in league action. Right behind them is Barlow at 3-1. Barlow is at Sandy tonight. Barlow's the favorite. They win that, they'll be 4-1. The loser of this game will be 3-1. The winner of this game will be 4-0.
What if it's a draw? You're getting there? Yeah.
We don't want to draw, but so it's big implication. Central comes away with a win. They'll be alone at the top of the Mount Hood Conference. Now the Rams this year, the girls, they've scored 30 goals and given up 11. David Douglas is at the top. They've scored 34 and given up 10. So both these teams have high-powered offenses and stingy defenses and great goaltending.
And just to go off of that, was talking David Douglas, assistant coach Gregory, before the game. He had a lot of very positive things to say about goalkeeper Hollingshead, Evelyn Hollingshead. He said she's just been an absolute wall all year, made a lot of saves, and that's a big reason why they've only conceded 10 goals. And I want to correct myself, Evelyn Hollingsworth in goal. Look for her, and she's going to have to probably be on her game tonight against this high-powered Central Catholic offense. They got goal scorers on goal scorers on goal scorers, most notably Barry and Fee.
All right, at halftime, we're going to give you the schedule coming up for the girls soccer, and we're going to talk a little bit about our next broadcast. Our next 3 broadcasts have huge implications for all of different teams in the Rams sports organization. We'll talk about that at halftime and talk about the games that we're going to bring you, because we're going to be in on all the excitement as the Rams work their way to the playoffs.
I just want to say, last time I had the pleasure of doing this, was a fantastic matchup between West Lynn and Central. Susanna Fee scored one of the better goals I've ever seen in person, about a 33-yard strike right to the top corner, and that got Central going early. So I think for David Douglas, one of the main things is just try not to concede that early goal. Central's a team that likes to play possession, but it's going to be very important to play stingy defense, play tight in the back, don't lose sight of your man. And we're underway. Libby Wise, the senior, with the first touches of the ball game in this one.
For you who have not been to the Eastside Timbers Complex, it's near 174th and Pahl, and the facility is really, really outstanding.
Michaela Creason being forced towards the corner, almost won a goal kick, and she is going, this is going to be, I was going to say she almost won a corner kick, but this is going to be a goal kick for the Scots. Pretty good job taken, because Creason made a good run, but the defender forced her goal side and didn't give her a lot of room there. It's kind of like in basketball, if someone's driving under the basket, you want to force them towards the line. That's what the defender did there for David Douglas.
It's like having an extra defender.
Pretty good speed shown by Araya Abdullah right there. Pretty good closeout in defense, and this is going to be a throw for the Scots. I think that was Jalan Abdullah to throw it in. Multiple pairs of sisters on this David Douglas team. It's worth noting. We're going to see Jalan and Araya Abdullah. We're going to see stars Chloe, who's kick, and Katie, who's kick. And I'm sorry, I have the sound amplified there. I thought that might have been coming towards me. We're going to be seeing number 20, Amaya Say-Chow Thornton, and her sister Olivia Say-Chow Thornton.
Jalan Abdullah, number 10, she plays mostly on the wing. Her sister Araya is the striker, number 8.
Hey, Lizzo, just watch your running one.
I like through the headsets, I can hear the communication on the field because our crowd mics have been very well placed. Both these teams talking, good communication is key, especially in a sport like this. It's going to be a quick restart from actually Fee's going to give this kick off to Annie Charbonneau. Star sophomore, she was all over the place against West Lynn. Definitely going to be one to keep an eye on. We're going to mostly see her in the back, but she has creates a lot going forward as well. That's a good ball in.
By the way, the 2 sisters, Katie and Chloe Cusick, they're both seniors and they're both captains.
Always, as a twin myself, love to see twins playing with each other. My brother and I never really had the same interest, so I always envy when they're able to go out and play on the same team for years and years. Special to do that. Not everyone gets to do that. So watch out for the Husicks. Chloe is going to be playing, Chloe is going to be playing up on the wing, I believe. There's a good cutback. It's going to be to Abdullah. Can she bring it down? And that was Jalan Abdullah. And in goal, getting her first touch, this is Rose Sanders. In goal, Coach DePena said we might see a couple of different keepers.
Sanders, by the way, just came up from the JV team to play this game in goal.
Sanders coming up from the JV as you mentioned, Gabby Hill, the starting keeper most of the time. They want to give her, I believe, a little bit more rest, especially as we get towards the playoffs and more games in the next few days. Pretty common strategy. You see it at the pro levels as well. You don't want your keeper to get too exhausted, especially at this time of the season.
3 teams from the Mount Hood Conference will get automatic bids to the state playoffs. And right now, it's pretty sure those teams are going to be Central, David Douglas, and Barlow.
Charbonneau taps that one out to Briscoe.
Nice catch, Jack. I mean, Ben.
I'm not Jack now. Yeah,
Right.
sorry, instinct kicked in there after years of playing soccer.
Bro, I can't.
Charbonneau's going to get this one up towards Katie Berry. Berry wins the header. Can she move forward? That's great, solid defending by 21 Tiffany Salvador Canales. That was a really good physical play to nudge Berry off the ball.
Head coach John Dyer of David Douglas, head coach Lucas Zapina of Central Catholic. Dyer's in his first year with the Scots.
That's good defending by Lizzo there. Had the pleasure of talking to her parents before the game. Want to give a shout out to Molly Briscoe. Great talking to her. Remember from last time I was calling her Elizabeth and I overheard her parents just calling her Lizzo, so that's what we go with from now on. Lizzo, only a sophomore starting on varsity, one of the many young talents on this Central Catholic team, along with freshmen Sophie Nolte and Catherine Miller. We saw Miller coming off the bench against West Lynn, and she really impressed me. It's going to be a throw-in for Briscoe. So right now, you're seeing both teams. I mean, more so it's been in the Scots half, but you're not getting any sense that David Douglas has really been in any sort of danger on the defensive end yet. And they're going to try to push right here, going for Jalan Abdullah. Pretty good closeout from Briscoe. Can Jalan get to the side? She can, but she couldn't quite save it. Good hustle there.
Ben, I went to come to the game and I looked down at my phone and there was a message. And I looked at the message and it said, "Go Scots." My daughters went to David Douglas.
Yeah, we got to be neutral. Your daughters probably are not right now, Dave. So David Douglas keeping a little bit of pressure on, trying to counter. They haven't had a lot of possession, but they've been efficient when they do have the ball, trying to find those passes upfield. That's good quality defending. But she's able to get around for a moment. Pretty nifty ball work, and this one's going to go out for a David Douglas throw. So we're just about 7 minutes into the game. And again, you haven't had that big chance yet, and they're going to try to spring Berry. And here is Hollingsworth, the star keeper for David Douglas. No problem there, her coming out.
By the way, Hollingsworth has given up 10 goals in 11 games.
That's less than a goal a game. It's very good.
Central Catholic goalies have given up 11 goals in 11 games.
Not much worse. So again, two very strong defensive teams tonight. Of course, Central with that high-powered offense. David Douglas going to need to be firm in the back. That's a great step up that time from Briscoe. And Elizabeth Briscoe is going to take this down the left side. Crosses one in. Went across the face of goal. That's pretty dangerous. She can hit it from here. Oh, that is a fantastic save from Hollingsworth. I can see why the coach was saying, giving her so much praise before the game. Man, that's a fantastic save.
About 30 yards out, and it had drop on it at the end. Cleared the goalie, everybody thought, but the goalie got a fingertip on it, lifted it up over the crossbar.
I think that was Susanna Fee, and we've seen her score multiple times, both last season and this season from out there. Man, that's a fantastic save. She had to use every inch of her wingspan to get to that one, and it was a really good save. Can David Douglas counter here? Briscoe is going to sprint back. That's a good clear from Briscoe, and Elizabeth Briscoe wins the ball. Alderton called for the foul. Grace Alderton. That was good physicality by both players there.
I'd describe what's been going on so far as a feeling out period. Both teams kind of seeing what the other team wants to do.
Briscoe's going to send one in. And again, no problem for Hollingsworth. Made the right read there to come out and grab that one. It can be tough sometimes. You hesitate for just a split second too long as a keeper, and you're stuck in no man's land and you're in some deep trouble. So a fantastic save a minute ago from Evelyn Hollingsworth, keeping her team level at 0-0 for the moment. It's going to be a throw-in one from David Douglas. So that was our first shot of the game, Dave. First shot on goal as well. First save all in one. And I think if you're Fee, you're just going to be thinking right now, what can I do? I couldn't really have struck it any better. It's one where you just got to tip your cap. That's a great save. But I will say, if you're David Douglas, you cannot be giving Susanna Fee that type of room. Gonna have a go from distance here, and goalkeeper Sanders, again, moved up from JV today, just gonna let that one sail aside. And we're gonna have our first substitution of the match. Matchup to watch is gonna be Michaela Creason on this left side against West Lynn. She was causing quite a bit of headache for the Lions, always coming up and down. She's in great shape, as you want out of your left wing. It's going to be intercepted that time by Seychow Thornton. Seychow Thornton centers this one. First touch quality wasn't quite there, but David Douglas keeps possession. I like what I'm seeing out of David Douglas. They're calm on the ball. As I say that, it's going to be sprung back, but I think this one's just going to go back to Hollingsworth, as she's actually going to take it out wide. Katie Berry with great pressure. That's a good cutback. I like the possession I'm seeing for David Douglas right now, Dave. Here's Abdullah. Jalan Abdullah down the side. Briscoe again with this matchup. We're going to be seeing it a lot tonight, I have a feeling. It should be a goal kick. So, great defense again by the sophomore, Elizabeth Briscoe.
It looks like she's matched up one-on-one on Abdullah.
And that's a tough matchup, seeing the athleticism and the skill of Abdullah, one of the standouts mentioned by assistant coach Gregory in the pregame. So, with Briscoe, she's got her hands full, but she's done a really nice job so far of forcing her to the line. It's a good block. Sanders gets her hands on that.
Want to thank Coach Gregory. He was very, very helpful for us.
Coach Gregory, a pleasure to talk to, was talking about team chemistry this year. They're excited, getting prepared for the playoffs, and really excited to play. So this is the best team they've played so far, Central Catholic. David Douglas, again, a lot of wins under their belt. In fact, they just beat Clackamas 6-1. They beat Sandy 5-1 before that, and here's Lizzo on it with it on the left side. She's nice and calm on the ball, and she gets it down to Creason. Creason with pressure. That's good pressure applied from Marley Higgins. So we're getting to this point in the first half where, you come out amped up, and now I think, I'm not saying that fatigue is setting in, but, it's a chilly night. Got to make sure you pace yourself a little bit. As there's been a lot of back and forth. It's kind of reminded me of a hockey game, the way ball's just kind of gone up and back so far.
Well, we were here for the boys' game last Thursday night, and the conditions were much worse.
Really nice night for soccer. It's the right idea from Abdullah. Now she was trying to find her sister Araya right there. Here's Charbonneau. And they're going to play it out of the back. Here's Coco Stanford. That's a really good dispossession, and it could be a little bit dangerous. Libby Wise retreating. She tried to thread it through to Abdullah. So Central has been recovering every time there's been a bit of a misstep, and we're going to have a call here. This is a foul on the Scots.
Free kick coming up for the Rams. Let's see if they can set up some offensive play here, get the ball in front. Only real attempt they've had on goal was the long shot by Fee.
And again, I'm still thinking about that save. Tremendous goalkeeping there. I played goalkeeper for a little while for FC Portland because we didn't have a true goalkeeper, and I'm not going to say I was terrible, but I certainly wasn't anything close to Hollingsworth, I'll tell you that. It is tough between the pipes. And so I'm very impressed by the extension there, the read, and the fantastic save by Hollingsworth. Creason draws the foul. Good work by Michaela Creason. And she's going to find Elizabeth Briscoe down the sideline. It was a good idea, just let her a little bit too much. Briscoe playing that left wing position. Had an awful lot to do already. She's been up and down the field, clearly very well conditioned. Katie Berry's going to drop this again to Lizzo. Pokes this one through to Charbonneau. She's got Stanford on her right. Oh, that's a really nice turn from Berry. Just David Douglas was ready for it. Here's Abdullah. Jalan Abdullah. Finds a little bit of space. Can we return? Oh, that's a really nice ball for Higgins. And that's a foul on Libby Wise. That was a tactical foul, you could probably call it, and I think that was a smart move there because it looked like Higgins could have had a chance in on goal there.
Still have not had a corner kick in this game.
A little surprised considering how much attacking there's been so far on both sides, and so we're going to see if anyone's going to have a strike here. Higgins is standing over it. It's going to be the player next to her. That's a good strike. Dangerous ball. In Central, breathes a sigh of relief. It is outed by Creason.
It's like mayhem. Anytime the ball is on the ground right in front of the net and there's 4 or 5 players around it, it's who can get there first.
That's great piece of skill by Berry to bring that down. Libby Wise now on it for Central. One player I'm really looking forward to seeing tonight is 22 junior Hazel Norling. She came off the bench against West Lynn. It was involved, she had 2 assists by my count and was a great facilitator of the game. Just a super sub that you always want to have in your back pocket. So we'll watch out for Hazel Norling when Coach DePena decides to send her in because she is a real force. And that's one thing Coach DePena was talking to us about, and we saw it against West Lynn. They got a great bench, and that's why they like their chances this year to go far, semifinals, maybe even all the way, because it's not just the girls they have starting out there, it's that they got a lot of it's everyone on their bench is starter worthy as well. Again, a lot of young talent. Especially can't wait to see freshman Sophie Nolte, Catherine Miller, who both played well against West Lynn. Just a lot of depth on this Central Catholic team and this David Douglas team as well. Both coaches were very complimentary.
They play a lot of players. David Douglas 3-0 in league, but 8-1-2 overall, ranked number 13. Central Catholic 3-0 in league, 10-1.
That's a short
overall.
corner kick. Can David Douglas take advantage? We'll see if Central Catholic can build up from the back here. And they are doing a very nice job doing just that. I really like how calm they are in possession. Bit of a hard touch from Fee, but there's a bit of a mistake in defense. And is the break on here for Central? Fee's going to try to reach this one. There's a good cross in Wise, and that's another really good save from Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth was laid out, diving to her right, got a hand on it, deflected it. It was right on goal.
I mean, it's the first part of the game, and I already can't believe a couple of the saves from Hollingsworth. She's the real deal there in between the pipes. It could be 2-0 Central right now if it weren't for their goalkeeper, Hollingsworth. Can Berry stay on sides? She's done a great job to hold her run, dispossessed by Higgins. That's a really good piece of defending. Can David Douglas break? No, because Libby Wise takes it away. Relentless pressure from Central Catholic. Barry tries to bring that down.
The Rams tasted the front of the goal. They want to get back there.
And Barry's so quick, so good in possession, and she does win the game's first corner.
First corner kick is going to go to the Rams.
So what I really wanted to point out there about how hard that save is she thinks the shot's going to come to her left, but it takes a deflection in midair, or while the ball's halfway to the goal, she has to readjust with a player in her line of sight and bend her momentum the other way. That's a really fantastic save. Short corner kick. Central wins a set piece. So it's not really going to be a shooting area, but Susanna Fee is going to have every opportunity to send this one into the box. So we've played 20 minutes. Certainly no shortage of entertainment, especially because Central's really ramped it up the last few minutes.
One thing this area is known for, Ben, fog, and you can see it on the other side of the field. I've been here for games when it did affect the play.
That's a good ball from Fee. Nice and high delivery. Game's second corner.
Last time they played it short. And the Scots will put a player on the back post.
Oh, it's a good ball in. Spilled by the keeper, and it's a goal for Central. And David Douglas is trying to say, and it is in fact a foul. Was a foul called?
I don't think so. They're still headed out to midfield for.
So the keeper is in goal kick position, and they are calling this a goal. Sorry, there was a bit of confusion for a second there. I think Hollingsworth is trying to say that she had that one.
I don't think so. I think that was in the just in the side of the net. Referee brought it out right away.
The only question I had there is, was there a foul on the keeper? But it's 1-0 Central. Briscoe to Wise.
That coming on a set piece on a corner kick.
You're good.
Creason, did she keep it in? They say she did. Katie Berry, so good in possession. I'll tell you what, that's a good job to dispossess her there.
Did you get the player on the score?
I think that it was Berry, but I can't tell for sure because there was a scramble of bodies in the area.
We'll confirm that at halftime.
Yes.
We don't have the instant replay working tonight.
Nah. And this should be another throw for Central. It will be. Central Catholic with a big win over Westland this year. They did play number 1 Jesuit. We're on the wrong side of a 4-0 defeat in that one. Cut to Coach DePena, said it was not their best. Wasn't their best. You know, it's tough early in the season playing one of the best right away, the best right away.
13-1, ranked number 1 Jesuit.
So Jesuit does have a loss. They are ranked number 1, as you said. Grant still has not lost a game ever since winning the championship last year. Here's another chance for Central.
Well, there are 2 undefeated teams in Oregon right now. One of them is Grant, ranked number 2. The other is Sheldon, ranked number 4. They each have a tie.
Yeah, Grant beat Jesuit, I believe, 5-1. And again, Grant beat Cleveland in the state championship last season. They're a very good team, as is Jesuit, and of course Central Catholic. Westland also in the mix as well, as you can see there from your scorecard. Number 5, my alma mater. Good to see them at number 6. Lincoln's been playing well. Abdullah with a really nice run here. This is a foul called on Creason.
Are you kidding?
Olivia Satchel Thornton walked right in front of our crowd mics, and she said, "Are you kidding?"
Did she think that could have been a card right there? I'm not
No, I think she was, why was there any reluctance to make that a call? It was so obvious.
It was good physical play from Creason.
Yeah, for Stewie right.
Higgins,
Wow.
nice, powerful kick in.
Put that right on the right post. Just curved outside the right post. A little bit different on that, and
Yep.
we curled inside.
Good strike, nonetheless, from Higgins. Sanders boots it up. Barry, that's intercepted. Angeline Duran. Abdullah couldn't quite catch up to that one, almost ran over our crowd mics. Briscoe fires this one in for Katie Barry.
Yes, Ben, I have done a game where someone picked up the crowd mic and talked to it during a game, a player.
What did they say?
And, just hello or something.
What sport was that? Is that soccer?
Yes, it was a soccer game.
That's classic.
Come on, guys. Yes.
Briscoe does a good job shielding there. Swing and a miss. Can Central be sprung? It's pretty good defending. It's going to be a corner kick.
That'll be our third corner kick of the night, all for the Rams.
Go Central.
Susanna Fee, fantastic set piece / corner taker. That's bouncing around dangerously. Douglas able to get it clear. To the back line only as far as Stanford. So David Douglas scored on for just the 11th time all year off the corner kick. Got 14 and change to play in the first half.
2 40-minute halves here in high school soccer.
Libby Wise, nice skill move, gets it out to Lizzo. Charbonneau. That's really well done from Hadley Drews. Now Douglas has to take advantage of some of these breaks right here, and this could be how you do it.
Nice through
Can she have a
ball.
left-footed strike? She can. No problem for Sanders.
Great position, sitting right there on the post. Kind of crouched down, fielded like a shortstop.
Half of goalkeeping is positioning, and she positioned herself very well there. So as of right now, we got a battle. 1-0 Central leads David Douglas, courtesy of a goal about 20 minutes in. Here's a set piece for David Douglas. It's a really nice delivery. Duran keeps it alive. Still bouncing around. Lizzo gets that one out. Can she get it to Barry? Barry being shielded. Tell you what, that's a risky defensive move.
You know, Ben, now that I look at it, I'm pretty sure that the first goal was Barry.
I think it was Barry.
You know, when I look at her and I remember what I saw when the player who scored, I'm pretty sure it was Barry.
I think that she got the last touch on it. Something I noticed about Barry last game as well, she likes to roll with the short sleeves. Certainly I'm not sure I would on a night like tonight, but she seems comfortable out there. And Higgins has been doing a little bit of everything for David Douglas, and she gets past Libby Wise. Higgins to Abdullah.
I'm passing on the short sleeves. I'm going full parka mode.
Yeah, as we're both wearing, look like we're ready to go skiing right now. A little different when you're not out there on the pitch.
Right.
Barry's applying some pretty good pressure, and that's a nice pass found from Duran. And Central's just so good in defense. And that was Maddie Platt. Came into the game recently. And the was that out of bounds or offsides called? We'll find it. Out of bounds is what they call it, yeah. And a foul.
Oh, a free kick.
$11:30 left to play in the first half. And if you're David Douglas right now, you're hanging with number 3 Central. But you want to feel like you want to generate a few more chances. Haven't really tested Rose Sanders tonight. Meanwhile, Hollingsworth with a couple of really nice saves. Could be 2, maybe even 3-0 Central had it not been for her. That's the right move, just get it out of harm's way. Oh, that's a fantastic ball. Can she cut back onto her right? She can cut onto her right. Looking for Abdullah. Duran tries to play that in.
Abdullah came down the right side. Nobody saw her. Had she been able to get that ball through to her,
I think that's a goal.
I think that's a goal.
Wise gets it to Sophie Nolte, one of the young talents on Central. She's a freshman as Sophie Nolte. Abdullah with Higgins. That's a good in-cut from Higgins. Oh, really good intervention from Duran, or else Creason would have had a lot of room. This is a nice run from Duran. She's going to take her space, and that one's going to curl out. And here comes Hazel Norling, along with, it's so hard to see numbers out here. Norling is probably the tallest player, that's why she stands out.
She's 22.
Number 22. Last game off the bench, Norling, again, a couple of assists, so always great for Coach DePena to have her in his back pocket. Trying to see who else subbed on. Again, it's a bit tough to see the numbers, and here is Norling bringing that down. Susanna Fee, she's so good in possession, and Douglas able to take that away. And she does a really nice job keeping her space. I apologize, it's tough to see the numbers of the David Douglas players on the other side of the field. That's a great idea. Higgins, oh, a good effort to try and win that one out. Man, Duran, I love the energy she has. She's everywhere.
They set up Abdullah coming down the right that last time, got a good kick away. She looks really dangerous.
And Creason in a bit of discomfort.
When I say Abdullah, I'm talking about number
and we are going to stop
10.
play.
Can you see what's going on down there?
Looks like Creason's in some discomfort.
The winner of this game will have sole possession of first place in the Mount Hood Conference. That's why this game is so important.
So, Dave, explain to us a little more. How do the playoff schedules work? Is it similar to how OSA football does it, or is it 32? Yes.
Yes.
So are there two separate playoffs, one for the lower half and one for the top 16? Is that how it goes with this? Or is it just 32?
I'm not sure on football. I'll have to check on that. At halftime, I'll recap how the soccer playoffs work, and We'll go over all of that.
Oh, that's what I meant. Like for the soccer playoffs, I'd like to get some clarification on how that works, because this game could be pretty important when it comes to seeding. And
what you want to get, top 16 teams get a first round home game, but the top 8 teams could get 2 home games. So the Rams would like to finish in the top 8, and they currently sit at number 3.
And barring it, if they're able to get through tonight, which is no given considering how good David Douglas looks, they are the favorites in their remaining 2, and so they got to feel, if they can win tonight, pretty good about their top 8 chances, and that's almost a takeaway.
I believe
able to get to Duran.
Their last 2 games, I believe, are Sandy and Clackamas. Is that right?
Yes, and they will be
and both of those are
big
in the bottom
favorites in
half
both those games.
Yeah,
David Douglas beat Clackamas 6-1, Sandy 5-1. So Douglas definitely better than the remaining 2 regular season games.
The Scots have a tougher last 2 games because I think they play Barlow, who is 3-1, and they also play Clackamas, I believe.
Barlow has Norling in possession. Barlow only lost 2-1 to Central. Coach DePena praised Barlow, the Bruins, for how tough they fought.
Not only are they 3-1 in league, Barlow's 11-2 overall, ranked number 14 in the state.
So back-to-back top 15 opponents for Central Catholic. And again, of course, you want the highest seed, not only for home games, but also so you can get the lower seeded pairing in the first round matchup. Libby Y is going to retreat to try to stop Higgins. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Douglas. They've forced the issue a little bit more. That's a physical play, nothing dirty there, just a good step up.
This is a good game to see because these are 2 legendary teams from Mount Hood Conference, storied franchises who maybe in soccer haven't had such good years recently, especially maybe David Douglas, and now here they sit at the top.
They're both sitting in the top 15. Central's having their best year in a long time and hoping again to maybe try and go all the way this season. That's how good of a team they have. And there is 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in the first half.
Central Catholic having a great year athletically under the new athletic director, Patrick Chapman.
Libby Wise gonna try and poke this wide. Can she keep it in? She can. Again, it's tough for us to see them. I gotta bring binoculars next time, Dave. It's tough for us to see.
I've got them.
You got them? Okay, we might need to use those because it's tough to see on the far side. Once it comes to us, it becomes much easier. And look at Central. I love taking the second option, Charbonneau. She was patient, and they had a chance to run a 1-2, but that's a really good cutoff from number 9, McKenna Jones, cutting off that give and go. Norling with some good defense, but forcing it is Alderson, one of the captains of this David Douglas team. Alderson very tough in possession, as is Fee. Oh, you don't want to let Barry get it here in this part of the field. Katie Berry pokes one up, tries to get to the back post, and it's just wide. Oh, she got her right boot on it. See who that was in a minute. Is that Drews?
I think so.
I think that was Hadley Drews, and she did everything right there.
And, you know, that went wide by about a foot.
Exactly. Again, nothing she could have done more there. I mean, it's tough to make the run and then with players blocking you off to get a first-time touch on that. And she did a great job because a lot of players would have just sent it way over the bar, and she got a really nice, gentle touch. And just her luck wasn't quite with her enough there, just wide of the post.
Hollingsworth did everything she could to stop that. She was laid out on the ground.
So, again, there could be multiple tallies up on the board for Central. But then again, David Douglas has also been attacking.
That's three shots that could have went in.
Hollingsworth responsible for keeping at least 2 of them out. Good step up that time. Return ball, she couldn't quite reach it. And I apologize for not knowing who that is. Some players have long hair and you can't see the number on the back of their jersey. 1-0. There is about 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the first half. Here's Barry. Nice in and out move, and that's a great ball by Barry down the right side. It fell. And again, when you put it into the middle like that, dangerous things happen, so that was the right idea with the cross there. And speaking of good balls, shot down the right side. See, Central, they've allowed some possessions in their own half as Norling comes back to scoop it up, but they haven't broke. That's a really good ball forward from Hazel Norling. Maddie Platt trying to find Barry just a little too far. And one thing that I love about Norling's game is she has great vision. Her head is always up, and she's always looking to make the through passes, and she's very good at it.
Both Abdullah sisters are out of the game. They've been subbed out right now, so they're not up front for the Scots.
So they're going to need a breather. Maybe, we don't know for sure, but it could be just getting them a rest the rest of the half because they've been running like crazy.
Like crazy.
Here's Norling. Hazel Norling, again, a great ball. Controlled. And that's really good defending to bump Maddie Platt off the ball. So great defending, but once again, Norling making a phenomenal pass. Pinpoint accuracy.
Another couple of steps, and she'd been one-on-one with the goalie.
Go Reds!
So Central's been keeping some pressure on. It's a really nice first-time ball. It gets to Fee. Fee finishes for Central Catholic.
And that's just strength on strength. Fee on the goalie that time and got it in.
And that is an excellent first-time ball. I really wish I could have seen who was on the far side to deliver that because that was perfect.
Couple of little shifts on the side. Got the goalie moving. Just pushed it by her. And Hollinswood puts her hands up in the air like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and then she has a right to be a little upset there because there's really not a whole lot you can do when your team allows a point-blank shot.
Yeah, no help front.
That is a pretty hopeless feeling as a keeper, I can tell you that from my time I'd rather forget being a goalkeeper.
Nearing the end of the first half, now 2-0.
Susanna Fee's got it to Libby Wise. Wise to the far side of the field, and I think that's Ryan Stauffer, who I've been failing to identify.
Number 20?
Number 20, I'm pretty sure that's Stauffer. I remember her from last game when she was on this side, so
okay.
That looks like that's the position she was playing last time as well. If that is in fact Ryan Stauffer, she is a junior. .40 seconds left to play first half. Central's got a nice 2-0 lead. If David Douglas could make something happen before the break, obviously be very happy with that, but this is going to be a goal kick.
You know, Rams got the 2-0 lead. They're not sitting back. They're keeping pressure on the goalie.
And I've had this conversation with Coach DePena before. He is not a fan of sitting back, unless you need to be smart. Unless you're up 2 with like 5 minutes left, that's a different story, but he is not a fan of getting out of your game plan and sitting back, as we can see right there.
And I'm not a fan of that either.
I'm not either. You got to keep going what's working for you. You want to play naturally. Man, Barry's just everywhere. The stamina these Rams possess. Very
that was
key.
the horn, I believe.
That was the first half horn. We've played 40 goals from Barry, Katie Barry, and Susanna Fee before the half was Fee's goal off a great delivery. It's 2-0 Central, and I will say, Dave, I think you were on something with gloves.
I learned last week. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a break at halftime. When we come back, we'll come back a little bit early, and we'll recap the playoff structure for the girls 6A soccer playoffs coming up, and those are due to start on November 9th.
So our score at halftime, The Rams, the number 3 ranked Central Catholic Rams, to the number 13 ranked David Douglas Scots, nothing. We will be right back. You are listening to Oregon Sports Beat.
Sure, yeah.
Make a nice mother-in-law suite.
That's right. Mother-in-law
To rent out. Make a little money on the way for it.
Absolutely. That's probably
I see a lot of that on these.
what's that?
I see a lot of that.
You've been sitting there thinking about that the whole time, haven't you? He dogged me when I went to hug him, and I'm not going to do that anymore.
I guess.
You start coming in tonight, it's actually a lot.
As I would expect.
I won't give you the right, but I'll give you the left. Out of respect.
Well, you can say both of those for 8-year-old stuff.
Oh, dude, he's getting big. Seriously, just even in the last,
Who?
few weeks, yeah.
Getting tall.
Yeah,
He's
he's
changing.
going to the gym and he's seeing his muscles grow and stuff.
And you look at him, he's not looking old.
No, it's very sad. I wasn't prepared for this. I wasn't prepared.
He's going to be a little Cooper all the time.
I know.
Yeah.
People talk about it, but it's like so hard.
About 3?
And then, like, trying to do
Yeah.
yeah.
What is really, really great, though, is
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No, I'm just,
that's huge.
seriously? It gets that bad? Man.
Yeah, it was.
I
Do
said,
you think that'll happen? I don't think it'll happen tonight.
I know, he's very, like,
yeah. Okay, whatever.
you know, he doesn't have a lot to say.
No.
He's more
I had to say it anyway.
you know what I've learned? Is you can learn
Yep.
a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That's the beer game. That's all right.
Don't you know that's like
You doing both? Yeah. So it's Ben Affleck going to do mine or something?
just sit back and just watch it.
Yeah, you can't. They're both at the same time. So you can't do both at the same time.
Yes, be something sure. Yeah, which is a blessing.
Yeah, right. It's fun. It's entertaining, right? Especially if they're any good games. Okay, not exactly. If you're just watching the 15th, good games. 6 of the day. Wow. That's when you call.
Well, they started.
Okay, so start at 10, then probably wrap up at what, 8, 9.
Still there.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah, he doesn't like the.
yeah, so where do the boys play? Yeah, where do they play? Wait, then how can the games be at the same time? Oh, because there are multiple fields.
Well, the one, either team.
Might be, okay. about that. Oh, they just didn't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So is it a day or night game? Day games? Okay, Saturday games, yeah. 30 seconds, you mean? 30 minutes. No, not quite. Yeah, it's a 40-minute half, so don't leave. We are ready. Sorry, I spoke. Probably the best bet.
And welcome back to the Eastside Timbers Complex. 2-0 Central Catholic leads David Douglas at the half. And right now, we're going to try and get you prepped a little bit for the OSAA state playoffs, which start next Saturday. Is that correct, Dave?
Let's do this. Before we do that, let's talk about the upcoming events that we have here on Oregon Sports Beat, because it kind of leads into the playoff. So you can go to our website, OregonSportsBeat.com. We have our calendar up of what we're going to be doing. But this is our next 3 events. Friday night, we're going to be out in Hillsboro at Hillsboro Stadium, and we're going to do the Central Catholic football game. That is against David Douglas. Start time on that is 7 o'clock. Next Tuesday or Wednesday night, that's the 30th, the volleyball playoffs start. We will be doing the first round of the playoffs, Central Catholic and whoever they draw in the playoffs, first round. That'll be at 6:30 p.m. So football Friday, volleyball playoffs next Wednesday night, and then next Saturday, which is November the 2nd, the boys and girls soccer playoffs start. So that will be November the 2nd, boys and girls. It looks like Central will make both of those, and then we'll be bringing you those. Now I want to explain how the playoffs work. This is the girls' playoff. It also applies to the boys, but this is how it works. There's a freeze on determining the teams. That freeze will be November 29th at 10 p.m. At that moment, the rankings are frozen, and that's how they determine the teams. There are 32 teams in the playoffs. There are 21 automatic berths. There are 7 leagues in the state. Each league will get 3 automatic berths, the top 3 teams. So that makes up 21. That leaves 11 more teams to make the playoffs. The highest teams, ranked teams that are not already in the playoffs, will make up those 11 teams, and that will be determined by the OSAA rankings. The top 16 will get home games in that first round. The first round we mentioned, it is Saturday, November the 2nd. The quarterfinals then are Saturday, November the 9th. The semifinals are November the 12th, and then the finals are Saturday, November 16th. So as long as the Central Catholic girls stay in the top 16, they'll get a home game. Those you'll be able to determine where they fit in that on the 29th at 10 a.m. You can go, or 10 p.m. You can go to the OSAA website, and they'll have those rankings or the brackets up with those teams that fit in. So we'll figure that out. But Central will certainly be in the top 16 in the girls, probably in the top 16 in the boys. They will probably be in the top 16 in the girls volleyball playoffs, and they will certainly be in the top 16. They'll be in the top 5 in the football playoffs. So big sports activities coming up for Central. We'll cover it here at Oregon Sports Beat.
Thank you so much, Dave. Can't wait for
Did that make any sense?
I did. No, it made sense to me, and I just love this time of year, the chill in the air, getting into the football, soccer, volleyball playoffs with high school, college. Gotta love everything, especially with the competition with the Central Catholic teams this season in particular. And you were talking a little bit about the fog. It's rolling in, but it's passing through pretty quickly.
Well, while we got a chance, let's talk about this game. And it's a 2-0 lead for Central Catholic at the half, and both of those goals, outstanding goals. This game could easily be 5-0 if it hadn't been for the David Douglas goalie, Evelyn Hollingsworth.
Hollingsworth, especially with that, as the teams there are going to switch sides, I want to remind everyone, Hollingsworth made a fantastic save in the first 5 minutes. Susanna Fee with one of her patented long-range shots, and it was struck probably just as well as the one I saw against West Lynn, except Hollingsworth was able to get to this one and make a fantastic save, and then she did it again about 20 minutes later, having to adjust her momentum and dive back across her body on a deflected ball. So 2-0 Central, but it could be more.
Let me give you quickly the top 10 teams in the state. Girls soccer, Jesuit 1, Grant 2, Central 3, Sheldon 4, West Lynn 5, your alma mater Lincoln number 6, they're 8-3-1, Tigard 7, St. Mary's 8, McMinnville 9, they've only lost 1, they're 11-1-2, and 10 is South Eugene.
A lot of powerhouses there, and I want to shout out Tigers have been having a really good season. They've gotten some pretty big results against top 10 opponents, and so they're going to be a formidable foe. You mentioned the Sheldon Irish, just a lot of quality at the top, and you got to be on your game when you're playing anyone like West Lynn or Central or Jesuit, Grant, Lincoln, host of these teams. And Central had a big 3-1 win over Lincoln earlier this year, and Coach DePena was very proud of that one. Very happy with that one, I should say.
Rams will move from our left to our right.
So again, teams have switched sides. Gonna see if they can get Higgins sprung. If they can just get her out into space a couple of times, that could be really big. And I want to mention, I don't see the Abdullah sisters out there right now.
They must have decided to give them a break. We may see them later in the game.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised. Sometimes you just want to let them sit the first 10, 15 of the half, then finish out the game with them going all the way.
They looked very impressive when they were out on the field.
Very. And that's why I'm saying I'd be pretty surprised if, barring injury, they weren't in again. Here's Annie Charbonneau, really calm on the back. On the ball is the right back. Hadley Drews getting to that. Good communication between Charbonneau and Drews, and that is a nifty little move. That one's intercepted. And now we can see the numbers more from the David Douglas players. This is 13 Grace Alderson, who had a good first half. She's done a pretty good job challenging defenders and has been fairly strong on the ball.
Make a run. Yes.
Well, Barry's got it in a pretty dangerous area. Norling's going to have a left-footed strike.
Barry,
right is Hollingsworth.
Barry was outstanding in the first half. Came up with a goal.
She's been outstanding every time I've watched her. Against West Lynn, I can't remember if she had 2. She had at least 1, and if she didn't have 2, she certainly was involved in at least 2 goals. Just a huge headache for the opposing team, and here she is again. Here's Hadley Drews. Great cross into the middle. It falls. Can Central get a shot off? Not quite. Hadley Drews has it outside, and the flag is up here on Nolte.
Scramble right in front. Rams tried to get a shot away, couldn't. The ball went all the way across the goal mouth.
So Central trying to get at third, which would really give them some breathing room against a team like David Douglas, who can strike pretty quickly. Norling plays it out for Hadley Drews towards the line. Drews is able to keep it in. Norling has a strike. That one's going to go behind. Right idea from her. And worth mentioning, Gabby Hill now in at goalkeeper, I should say. For Central Catholic, Coach DePena did say he planned to play both. That's what he's doing.
Hill wears number 1.
She had a good game against West Lynn. Now in with a 2-0 cushion against David Douglas, the 13th ranked team in the state of Oregon. Higgins through ball to Huskek. And Huskek sends one in, across, and it probably should have been a goal for David Douglas. Weren't able to bring it down.
I think the striker right in front of the net wasn't expecting the ball and came right there to her in front. Had an open shot for a split second, couldn't get it off.
Hadley Drews dispossessed, and here's Huskek. Huskek trying to go around Drews, and she was not on the same page with Seichow Thornton there, Amaya Seichow Thornton, not to be confused with her sister Olivia. Amaya Seichow Thornton wins that one. Amaya still on the ball. She's done well. It's a good turn from Libby Wise. Norling gets it out. Only as far as Malia Savage in the back line. Oh, Higgins really strong on the ball. Little bit too far for Huskek, but she does keep it in play, gets it onto her preferred right foot. Has one towards the back post, and that was a great idea and a good play. Just a little too high on the cross. That was a tough one. But David Douglas coming out with some momentum.
This looks like the start of the first half.
And I think, of course, being behind a couple of goals, this is what Coach John Dyer wants to see. Norling, good job shielding. That was number 2, Duran in possession. Katie Berry, she's got some space. Can she get it onto her preferred right? Too heavy of a touch. I think she lost her shoe momentarily there. Looks like everything's good with the equipment. Norling with a good turn. Fee with a heavy touch, and Higgins is not going to let you get away with that. Takes it away. Huskek trying to go forward. Here's Libby Wise. Wise to Hadley Drews. Good 1-2 with her and the freshman Sophie Nolte. Hadley Drews finds Barry. Able to take it towards the corner. It's going to stay in play. Hollingsworth is there. Good defending.
You got to keep your eye on Susanna Fee at all times. She has just a knack for finding the ball.
In space is Alderson. Alderson gets it to Huskek. Huskek tries to get it to another forward. Back to Huskek. They're on the same page. And Huskek is able to win it, but good defense. Into the middle. Huskek keeping the pressure on. Here's Alderson. Shot's gonna go wide. But a pretty good buildup from David Douglas. So far David Douglas in this half haven't been able to get on the board yet, but they've had some opportunities. They've generated some chances.
They look much more organized in front of the net than they did the first half. They've centered the ball.
Huskek chests that down, good control. Huskek sends it in, takes a deflection. Man, she's following her passes very well. Is Katie Huskek, pardon me, Chloe Huskek. Her sister is Katie. Higgins. And here is Katie Huskek.
Nice.
Higgins.
Hazel.
Shielded by Hazel Norling.
Oh, nice ball, Hazel.
Very well done from Hazel Norling. And Hollingsworth is going to get there. Fortunately,
She is limping.
yes,
I don't know what from. I just noticed she picked that ball up,
yes.
took a hop step, and then limped into the goal.
Able to get a really nice punt away, so that's good to see. Hopefully it's just something she'll have to shake off.
Maybe it was acting.
You know, never know.
I'm a drama major.
And see, hey, this isn't college football, Dave.
There we go.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
Can she find Huskek out wide? Huskek able to get it back onto her preferred right foot. Pardon me, she goes in with the left, and it's a good ball in. Seychow Thornton, that's Amaya. Too hard for Huskek.
Olivia is number 18. Amaya, number 20. The Seychow Thornton twins.
Are they twins? I think they're different. I think they're different years, Dave. They are not twins. They're
Okay, sister.
I remember, remember talking with Coach before the game. He said that the Huskeks are the only twins on their team. Other ones are a year apart. Can she keep it in? She can. And she makes a nice move. Central wins it by keeping the pressure on. Barry being pushed towards the corner, and she wins the throw-in. Good to see Hazel Norling get to her feet.
You know, it's a little cold tonight.
It is.
But a nice crowd.
I'd really like to see the energy and everything. It's been physical in this half.
More physical than the first half, exactly.
And also it makes those stingers hurt a little bit more when it's cold out here. Norling with a good left-footed boot, and that was almost an own goal. Man, Douglas has been playing some pretty good defense. Hollingsworth again.
A diving save to her left, right at the post, deflected it away. Hollingsworth saves another goal.
I can see why David Douglas hadn't conceded a whole lot of goals coming into tonight, and still haven't.
And Coach told us before the game she has played outstanding in goal.
And we are certainly seeing that tonight. Evelyn Hollingsworth, the star keeper in the Mount Hood Conference. I gotta think on this. You gotta want to look for your taller players here. You see Norling standing in the middle, stands head and shoulders over everyone else in that mix. Want to try to get it to her.
Rams defense back, keeping that from crossing midfield.
And this is going to be offsides.
That's a nice thing to have. I know. Stay with the Rams. Good job, Hazel.
I think that Hazel's going to be called for a foul there.
She has a rooting section right behind us.
She does. Got a lot of support. Love to see it. That's a really nice combination, and whose kick crosses one in. Get all the way through. Nolte, good move. Here's Barry. Katie Barry wisely cuts it back and finds Hadley Drews. Good defending. This is where you want to be careful because Drews is applying the pressure.
One of the things here in the second half has been the play of the Who's Kick sisters. They have really worked together well, set up some opportunities. They are playing really well second half.
They are. Seeing a lot more of them in the second half. They've really figured things out, look much more organized. Norling on her left.
We've had a lot of substitutions. We got more standing over on the sideline.
Looks like a couple of David Douglas players about to come in. Oh, that's a dangerous tackle. That's one where you might be fortunate to get away without being shown a piece of paper. It's from behind, and it doesn't look like she got a whole lot of the ball. A piece of paper, of course, I am, as you could probably infer, talking about a yellow card.
Haven't had any of those tonight.
Have not had any?
And I don't think, I'm trying to recall, I don't think David Douglas has had a corner kick yet, have they?
They have not had a corner kick yet. Good take by Hollingsworth. She's really keeping her team in this one. Nice, powerful kick. Libby Wise couldn't quite win it, but Hazel Norling can. Norling did really well there, but it's going to fall to Who's Kick. Who's Kick, can she get around Drews? Who's Kick, man, she is crafty on the ball, but even better defending. From, pardon me, that's Annie Charbonneau. Annie Charbonneau, sophomore.
Come to line.
She's really good. Hazel Norling's got it. Norling cuts onto her left, and she, just led her a little bit too much. Hazel's very good at creating opportunities, and she almost got another one there. Just a little too much on the pass, but that's great vision again.
Another good play, though, by Hollingsworth to come out and fall on that ball. Had she not, might have been a shot in front of the net.
24 minutes left to play in the game. It's 2-0 Central. Haven't seen a goal in the second half. Here's Who's Kick. Dispossessed by Wise. Fee. Back in the middle to Norling. Here's Katie Barry. Katie Barry, a nice turn. Katie Barry gets a shot off, and it's just high.
That ball probably 2 feet high above the crossbar.
Oh man, Katie Barry doing Katie Barry things. She cut it back against her momentum towards the edge of the box and had a strike falling backwards. That's very hard to do.
Good job, Hazel.
At the end, that ball kind of floated on her just a little bit. Had
Just
she had
a little bit.
A little more speed on it, it might have sunk a little bit more.
So, really good attempt and a great job by Katie Barry to create that chance. They're going to go out wide. That's out of bounds. Charbonneau pushing up. Katie Barry's got it. And Central's pleading for a hand. They might have a case, but no call. It's pretty well done by Lucy Kimball to chase it down. And Charbonneau, this sophomore is something. Norling's going to play a ball towards the sideline.
Rams have been really good today, taking the ball down the side and centering it right down low.
Yes. Yeah, and if you're David Douglas right now, although you are behind and clearly you want to win, you want to get the result, but it's not like you're being dominated in this game. They're not. They've looked pretty good in the second half. They've generated some chances.
Well, we're certainly not talking like they're out of this game.
No. My point is, it's not like they've had no possession or anything like that. I mean, just look at this nice little run up there. They're playing against a very good defense. And they do look like certainly a top 15 team. Barry, one-on-one, Hollingsworth again, and that's going to be a goal for Katie Barry.
A great block by Hollingsworth, but the rebound came off right in front, and Barry just hammered it in. Barry with the goal, 3-0 our score.
And that's her second of the night.
Hollingsworth made a great save down on the ground, stopped that, but there was nothing she could do when she didn't corral the ball in. Well, I tell you what, Katie Barry is impressive.
She's one of the best in possession in the state. I mean, I'm not qualified to say because I haven't done every team in the state, but she's one of the best ball handlers I've seen. She's very good in possession, very quick, very hard to dispossess. That's a foul. So kind of uncharted territory here for David Douglas, being behind in the Central Catholic Rams.
For a team that had only given up 10 goals in 11 games, to give up 3 here.
It's a really nice ball in. That was deep. Central gets it clear. That's gonna be dangerous, but it was good defending. Higgins. Here's Abdullah back in the game.
One of the Abdullah sisters in the game, the other one is standing on the side ready to come in.
Ready to check in. There's 20 minutes left. And here's the substitution now.
Central player coming into the game, 2 of them. One of the players who just checked in, let's see. Well, I'll wait till I come down to this end.
Is this a penalty? And this is going to be a penalty kick. Handball.
Oh. Exactly, that's what we have coming up, a penalty kick for a handball.
I haven't seen a lot of penalties in high school soccer, but this is going to be one. And it's going to be one of the captains, number 13, Grace Alderton, versus Gabby Hill. And Alderton scores. Hard to do it much better than that, Dave. Stepped up confidently and struck it towards the left side near the corner.
Right into the left corner.
And there's a stereotype that you want to get it in the air, but actually as a keeper, it's much easier to save hand length, arm's length, than to get all the way down. And so you want to either put it in the corner above them or on the ground where they have to get low. And that's exactly what Alderton did there, and it's 3-1.
Pretty much rolled that ball on the ground.
Great, yeah, you couldn't have rolled it any better if you were trying to bowl. Great kick. Well taken PK.
3-1. Rams lead.
So Douglas does get the goal back, courtesy of the Alderton PK. So Central, although they have a lead, they have now conceded in 3 of their last 4 games.
Just stay strong. Don't let her get behind you.
Who's kicking? Charbonneau bodying up a little bit there. Who's kick? Applying the pressure. Here's Abdullah. Good tackle from Charbonneau. It's getting physical out there.
I was going to say something about that about 2 minutes ago. The players are doing a lot of pushing. Oh, Barry wants the ball.
That's another goal.
Did Barry tip that in? Is that a hat trick for her, or did that go in from the side?
I couldn't see, but it's 4-1 Central.
I thought that Barry tipped it right in front of the net, and if she did, that's a hat trick.
If she did, that's a hat trick, as you said. And Central gets it right back. 4-1.
That goal coming about less than 30 seconds after the last one.
So Central leads David Douglas 4-1.
It was a shot from the side, from the left side, back towards the goal, and I thought it was not going to go in, and Barry was right there. She might have got a foot on it and tipped it.
Higgins goes down pretty hard.
The game is getting very physical.
And I will say, that's a clean tackle, though. It's a good tackle. It's physical, but it's a good tackle. Here's Charbonneau. Nolte into Barry, who's having quite a night. Just a bit too heavy of a touch from Drews.
All of a sudden, there's the 2-minute spurt here. The Hollingsworth's getting a real workout.
Abdullah went down the sideline, carried it for a second there. 17 minutes and change to play. Here's Higgins. Thompson. Who's kick?
Barry's got her hands up, wants the ball.
I don't blame her. Who's kick chasing it down? It's going to go to Charbonneau. Good move. Cut it back with her right foot.
When position changed last time, Barry broke to the middle, put her hand up just immediately.
Central Catholic looking every part of the number 3 team in the state tonight with the offensive onslaught they've had. Going to have a substitution. Charbonneau is coming off. I think that's Olivia Urquhart, the junior, who just came on for Annie Charbonneau.
Number 10.
Abdullah has carried it quite a ways. One Central Catholic. This battle between the top 2 ranked teams in the Mount Hood Conference. Libby Wise in possession. And a yellow is going to be shown to Libby Wise.
First yellow card of the game.
Just want to see where hopefully the ref can keep it calm, because it's gotten a little bit physical. And I think that the Central Catholic coaching staff is asking for an explanation. I think they're trying to say that she was provoked. I've been covering Central. It's my second season now. They are not a team that loses their cool or plays dirty or anything. So this is nothing pattern like here.
Just simmer.
4-1 Central Catholic. They'll finish up with Sandy next week. They got one more game, I believe, after that.
Well, let's see, those last two games, one of them is Sandy and one of them is Clackamas.
Clackamas, yes. Again, Central will be big favorites in both. Here's Libby Wise. Nolte, it's outed for a throw. "12 minutes on the clock in the second half. We've seen 3 goals in the second half, 2 from Central, 1 from David Douglas off of a penalty that was converted by Grace Alderton. Abdullah trying to spring Alderton. Good intervention, a key intervention. Hazel Norling has it towards the sideline. She's going to challenge the defender, Thompson. Whose kick does a good job using her body to shield that one off and win the ball. Good scissors move. Well done from Chloe Whose kick. This Central defense, if it hadn't been for that one penalty, they would have a clean sheet right now, and they've just looked really solid.
I was watching the defense that time by Olivia Urquhart, and she was really on the ball that time.
Libby Wise gets it up. Katie Berry in chase. She's got some serious speed.
Wow, she has great speed.
Douglas able to avert disaster there. Here's Abdullah providing support. Challenging Stanford. Gets it onto her preferred right foot.
Yes.
This could be a chance for Douglas right here. He's going to have a shot just wide.
Wide left on the shot, I believe on the shot that time that was...
Is that Alderton again?
I think so.
See Whose kick trying to stretch something out. Hopefully she's all right.
It was Lindsay Thompson.
Lindsay Thompson on the shot. Number 14.
Yep.
Oh, I did.
Hazel Norling on it. Drops it off to Urquhart. Going to take a deflection. I think that went out of play.
It did. It had so much spin on it.
Going to be
it
Central
bounced back
Catholic
in.
soccer ball. Substitution incoming.
Going out is Nolte. Coming in,
Urquhart to throw.
Drews, I think, is the player who came in. We had a fan he's obviously in officiating training. And actually, some of the players were listening to him.
That's hard not to when we're this close. Barry.
Yeah, 9 guys, let's go.
Urquhart's going to throw it in.
10. Move it back 10 yards, please. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when. Keep going back. Keep going. Keep going.
That was an official, not a fan that time.
Right.
Keep going. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Moved Urquhart back about 10 yards.
Still a great throw. Wow. Some players can throw it in really far, and Urquhart's one of them.
You ever seen anybody do a flip throw?
Yes, it's awesome, isn't it?
It is
Especially
awesome.
when they get ahead and a goal on it.
Years ago, I followed Newport for a couple of seasons. They had a kid that flipped threw it in, and one time he threw it in goal.
That's not a goal, is it?
I don't think that's a goal.
I don't think you can do that. I should know that, but I don't think you can do that.
I don't. He generally threw it right in front, and somehow this one went in.
That's pretty impressive, just the fact that he can even throw it that far. And the thing is, the flip's not just for show. That helps him get more power.
Right, exactly.
It's pretty incredible. Here's Abdullah with some space. She made a really good run. And Gabby Hill's got it. 8 minutes left to play. Whose kicks brought that down? Whose kick's going to give chase?
Collision down there right at the end line.
Got to give credit to Whose kick. It's been a physical game. She just keeps getting up. She's a good forward. I've liked what I've seen from her tonight. Wise looking for Barry. Charbonneau wins it out. The foul is going to be called on Alderton.
Leave it. Get up!
Oh, he pointed the wrong way.
Drew some response from the fans.
Yes, yeah. Mistakes happen. He pointed the wrong way. Hill couldn't get it, but able to defend it out for a corner kick. Annie Charbonneau boxing it out. I'm not great at guessing the temperature, but it's definitely dropped since the start.
I think it's probably maybe cold.
I'd say I'm not going to argue with you there. We had summer weather pretty long into September and early October. I think the corner's been turned.
Tonight's forecast, dark.
Dark
and cold.
Cold and a little bit of fog. Great ball in. Header went the wrong direction.
You know,
Higgins, great ball in. It's a beautiful goal. She just missed a header a minute ago. She did not miss that one.
No.
You can see the fist pump. She knew she missed it 10 seconds earlier. And that is a great finish from Abdullah. Araya Abdullah. Great goal.
She'd been hanging around the front of the goal that time. Just missed one, like you said, just a minute before. Got that one. 4-2 our score.
So there's 6 minutes left to play. Remember, the clock is stopped for a goal. 5:50 if we're being exact. I wish I could have seen who was on the assist there, but that is a great bullet header finish from Abdullah. Again, a minute ago, she had a pretty good look and went the wrong way. Not more than 5 seconds later. Just beautiful header. Got a beautiful connection there. And that is probably the best overall goal we've seen tonight.
Number 8, the striker, Amira Abdullah.
Alderton. So David Douglas with a little bit of a boost here. So even though they're not likely to get the result, they have put up a couple of goals on this stingy Central Catholic defense. Both of them in the second half.
Jose!
And have a substitution. Norling is gonna get a rest. And I think that is that Susanna Fee came in? I think that's Susanna Fee.
Each team now with 2 goals here in the second half. The difference in this game, the Rams 2 goals in the first half. 4-2 our score.
Yeah, and again, liked what we've seen from David Douglas in the first half. Apply enough pressure, you will score. You will find the net, and they have twice. And of course, Central, they've been more of a they've been very strategic in knowing when to counter, and also getting numbers back. And I don't know what the delay is here.
Clock didn't stop during the substitution.
And get an explanation right there. Appreciate that.
Referee turn around. Helped us out. Thank you. By the way, I don't think that's fog over there, Ben.
What are we going to call that?
Well, there's a gun range right next.
Okay.
And I think that is smoke
and
from
we're
the gun
smelling.
range.
I was going to say.
I'm smelling it.
That makes more sense now. I was going to say I'm not quite sure where I'm getting that smell from.
Having spent 2 years in a combat zone myself, I kind of got this little...
Familiar with it. You can identify it.
Yeah, that smells familiar.
That's likely what it is.
It is.
Gun smoke.
It's gun smoke.
Don't mind the gun smoke on the soccer pitch as David Douglas trying to keep pressure on. Got 4:15 left to play.
Last Thursday when we were here, you could hear the report from the guns. So this has been exciting.
I'm glad you told me about that, so now I want to get startled.
Right.
Ball's in play. Fee was the first to touch it there. David Douglas going to take possession momentarily. Higgins, man, she's been really good. She's a really good player.
I think the Scots are inspired. I think they're pressing forward.
I like the physicality of this game from both sides. Alderton going to have a strike. Pretty good save right there from
Gabby Hill.
Gabby Hill.
She was squared up to the ball, stood there and fielded it.
Exactly. Made no mistake on corralling that one. Remember, we started with Rose Sanders, and now it is Gabby Hill, the regular keeper. Both have done very well for Central tonight.
Scott's not taking any chances in. They just cleared that ball out.
Yep. You know, especially with the rankings, 4-2 loss and a 5-2 loss, there's a difference when you're fighting for a top 16 spot.
In the minds of voters, there might be a difference.
You were a voter for a long time in college football. You know how this stuff works. You paid attention to the scoreboard.
I was actually a voter in for the Wooden Award, the college basketball award, 2
Really?
years. Yes. Not a Heisman voter. Those are tougher to get.
Okay.
But a Wooden Award voter twice. I loved it.
Yeah?
And I was an AP voter for football.
AP, that's what I was missing, the AP voter.
For the rankings each year, yeah.
I gotta have you talk to me about how to get that role. I want to try to get that one day.
It was far more work than I imagined.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, yes.
That's a good shot and an even better save by Hill.
Oh, dove all the way across. 6 divisions in basketball and football. You know, all those teams playing every
And you got to
game.
pay attention to every one of them.
Right.
So-
I developed an interesting theory. You win, you move up. You lose, you move down.
Yeah, I was going to say, it doesn't necessarily matter if you win by 3 or you lose by 3 to Alabama. You're probably going to move down if you lose.
Right.
So that was a really nice save from Hill. Probably the best save of the day from her. And Barry, I think, was offsides, which is why she's not touching that soccer ball. She knew it. Minute 20 left. So Central,
That was a huge save by Hill.
because all of a sudden it could be 4-3 and Central would be shaken.
Right.
Abdullah applying good pressure. So if you're David Douglas, you're playing a really good team, Central. And I think you're pretty happy with the way your offense has looked in the second half, in particular.
I like the way Abdullah went after that ball, scrambled so she could get her back in right away.
The Abdullah sisters have really impressed me. Higgins has really impressed me. Chloe, whose kick really impressed me. They got a lot of talent on this David Douglas team. To be able to put up some goals on Central Catholic, not easy to do. Good D from Central. As there's under a minute left, they're just trying to play prevent here. Left-footed strike.
Oh.
Hill's there again.
That didn't have a lot on her, but Hill squared away again. Got
Yep.
right at the ball, squared, got her hands up and caught it.
That's an impressive strike considering I can usually tell by the way someone approaches the ball if they're right or left-footed. I'm pretty sure she's left-footed, so that's a really nice strike. I certainly was never very good with my off foot.
You have to give credit to Hill. Under the pressure, 2 big shots, stood right there and caught him.
So we only have 5 seconds left.
Yeah, out.
And there's the horn. So a hat trick from Katie Berry. Good to see the sportsmanship there between who's kicking Berry. Couple of number 3s, couple of star players.
Let me give you the current standings in the Mount Hood Conference. Well, not all of them, but just these ones. Central Catholic now 4-0, 11-1 overall. David Douglas 3-1, 8-2 overall.
And after tonight, as you mentioned there, Central Catholic remains undefeated in league. Again, their only loss still the 4-0 loss to number 1 ranked Jesuit.
And they will be the only undefeated team in the league because now Douglas has a loss, Barlow has a loss coming into tonight. So Rams at the top.
Rams at the top. And, they looked like the number 3 team tonight. They had some cracks in defense, especially in the second half against a really good David Douglas offense. But overall, you felt like Central did what they needed to do.
Coach Dependent in his crutches walking over to congratulate the team.
Yep, that was a PCL tear. I had to look that up after having a conversation when he told me tore his PCL. I'd never heard of that before.
I hadn't either, and I tore my ACL.
And you said still sore every day?
Still sore every day, especially at cold days.
Especially, it makes it even worse.
Well, we got a second. Let me again remind you of our next 3 broadcasts we have coming up. We're Oregon Sports Beat. Go to OregonSportsBeat.com, and we have our calendar up. And here's our next 3. Friday night we'll be out at Hillsborough Stadium. That's football. It's the Central Catholic Rams and these David Douglas Scots. In football action, Rams are currently ranked in the top 5. Then next Wednesday night, the 30th, that starts the volleyball playoffs. The Rams will be playing. 6:30 is the start time on that game. And then the soccer playoffs, boys and girls soccer playoffs, start Saturday, November the 2nd. On the 29th, the rankings and seedings will be frozen. So we'll be able to determine that. You can look at our website or you can go to osaa.soccer and that'll have all that information up for you. Again, in each one of those, in soccer, boys and girls, volleyball and football, 32 teams make the playoffs. So Rams are pretty much set in all of those.
So, again, tonight, final score, number 3, Central Catholic 4, number 13, David Douglas 2, and what was a shootout, a lot of fireworks in a very entertaining Mount Hood Conference 6A game. The final score, Central Catholic 4, David Douglas 2. Thank you for listening to Oregon Sports Beat. Have a great night.